what is up, takers, and welcome back. You guys already know this is Ty's Take Today Live. We do it each and every Sunday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And y'all already know how we start each and every episode, so be sure to follow us on Instagram at It's Ty's Take Today. Be sure to follow us and connect with us on Facebook, of course, at It's Ty's Take Today. And then, of course, as well, like I said, we try to keep it all real easy and simple. YouTube.com/at It's Ty's Take Today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, that notification button, to make sure that you can get caught up with all of our previous episodes, interviews, behind the scenes content. And then, of course, you can even see who's coming up on later editions of Ty's Take Today Live. So also, if you're old school and you just want some articles and content to read, I've got you covered, auntie and uncle, at TyStateToday.com. And also, if you guys want to chime in or interact with any of our conversations or topics this evening, or if you have any questions for our guests, you can share your take and perspective in the comments. Also, you can let us know where you're watching from, and if there's any questions for me or our guests, feel free to ask them in the comments on YouTube and Facebook, or just shout us out and be like, we're watching, happy Sunday. All I know is it's the weekend, so cheers to another amazing, productive week that is forthcoming. And coming up on tonight's show, we're going to be talking to April Lockett, also known as AP, by the way, media, radio, television personality. We're going to be talking about her journey. I even took it back and brought up some vault photos and videos from back in the day when I was working in radio. So I'm excited to share those with you all. But we're going to be talking about her journey, what she's got going on. I know she's got a major opportunity happening tomorrow morning, so we'll let you know and fill you in on that. And then just really her thoughts on the media industry and what direction it may be going in. Also, we're going to be talking to Gerramia Coffey about basically just all things career advancement, professional development, resume writing, and the services that he offers. Because if you're like myself, working multiple jobs, multiple side hustles, trying to fuel that passion and purpose, and we know that that can be difficult. So we want to get his thoughts and insight when it comes to career advancement. So it's going to be a good show. And before we do anything, of course, I've been doing this every episode since the end of February, and this episode is no different. So I want to go ahead and pull up on the screen really quickly this next image. So shout out to my mom. For those of you that may be following, she has been in the hospital since February 28th. And for anybody that knows me personally, my mom is my day one, my rock, my world, my number one supporter. And she is currently fighting a really extreme case of pneumonia and some other health matters. So I've been dedicating each episode to her. She's currently at a long-term care specialty hospital, and then from there she will be moving on to rehab so that we can get her back to the very strong woman that she is today. So last time I saw her, she was super excited, smiling, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that has checked in with me, my family, and really been there for us during this time, especially with Mother's Day right around the corner. It is extremely difficult not having her at her fullest potential, but I know that it's in God's hands. God's already mapped out the plan in the story for her. So keep the prayers coming. And she's excited to get out of the hospital and watch all of the episodes that she's missed. So I am excited to spend an entire day with her just catching up on my content. But that being said, I'm going to actually go ahead and add our first guest to the virtual platform. Make some noise. What's up, AP?
What's up, Tyler? How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. I am super excited to talk to you. I've been following you. I've been listening to you. And I'm just super excited to share your story with our audience, because if they're not familiar with you, they need to be. And I really want to just dive right in and tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
So first off, let me start by saying that I am praying for your mom. I did not know that. And so I'm standing in the gap with you. I'm touching and agreeing with you. We are on the front line for your mom. She is going to have a speedy recovery. She's coming home, no doubt in my mind. God does everything for a reason. This is making her stronger. This is making you stronger. And we're all praying for you. We're loving on you. We're loving on your mom. And all is well. All is well. I want to tell you that all is well. All.
Absolutely. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much.
All is well. All is well. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Hello, everyone. I am AP. I am a radio, media, and new TV personality. My journey started in radio many years ago. I'm not gonna tell y'all how many because I'm only 21.
That
So I'm
part.
not gonna tell y'all how many, but it started in radio. Radio is my first love, always has been, always will be. And I'm just newly transitioning to TV, which is a totally different playing field. You go from behind the scenes in radio to a camera dead smack in front of your face. So it is an extremely different ball game. But I'm telling you, if I didn't have the radio journey, the TV would have probably never came. I never ever had a desire to be on TV, and now I'm absolutely in love with it. But I know that God does everything in order. So I had to do the radio thing first, and I'm just so grateful for, being able to sustain such amazing relationships, being on the air, because that's what got me here, relationships. I want to tell everybody how important it is in your industry to build relationships. Whatever industry that you're in, I don't care what you do, you have to have great working relationships, because relationships will get you indoors that money cannot.
Absolutely. And I know
Relationships.
being from the west side of Detroit, you talk about coming from, not the greatest conditions or not the bougie lifestyle, that some of the on-air personalities have had that luxury. For
Yeah.
you early on in your journey, was there like a specific moment when you were like, this is my passion, this is my purpose, this is what I am going to do?
So I'm going to be super transparent, super honest with you. Growing up, I did not know that I had a desire for radio. I didn't know that I was going to be on the radio, but I knew that I would do something involving speaking, because I was always that boisterous friend, that boisterous sibling, that boisterous family member. Like, I was always the one who was like the spokesperson of everything. And so I thought I would either sing, because I was in a group early on. I thought I would be a lawyer. I never thought like the radio thing would come into play. Now, what I will tell you is, back in the day, I hate to go this far back to show you guys how old I am, but back in the day, the radio station had high school reporters, and they also had where you could come on and do freestyle. It was back in the day. And so I would call into the radio stations. I would be a high school reporter. I would freestyle, not thinking anything of it. Let me show you how God is just full circle. So I was doing that back in the day, not thinking anything of it. And then here I am, 22, 23 years old, graduating from Specs Howard, which is a broadcasting school, and being on the radio. Never saw that coming. Never saw it coming. Not for 1 minute. But it just goes to show you that sometimes what we don't expect happens, and it's what we need to get where we're going.
Absolutely. And for you, what have been some of like the biggest challenges or obstacles when it comes just overall to the industry? Because I know nowadays, especially, we see digital streaming and digital content, social media, podcasting. What were some of the challenges that you faced and that you were able to overcome?
So some of the challenges coming up, in this business was being told no. A lot of times you'll go for a position, and, you'll get people who think that you aren't ready. I got that a lot early on in my career, coming in and to a business. This is a business. I hate to say it, but I'm going to tell you guys the real. Sometimes people get opportunities because of who they know. It doesn't have anything to do with the talent level. It doesn't have anything to do with your education. It's who you know sometimes. Sometimes there is somebody who can just pull somebody in with not as much talent as you, not as much gifting as you, the whole 9 yards. So I think for me, A lot of my challenges came from just being told no, and also being a female in the industry. You gotta acknowledge the elephant in the room. Being a female sometimes will not get you the positions that you want, the positions that you desire. But for me, no was never an option. Let's be clear. I was told no a lot, a whole lot, but I never let that stop me, because for one, I serve a God who can do all things. That's number one. For two, I know that I'm talented. I know that I have what it takes to be exactly who I want to be. So hearing no was the fuel to my fire. Everyone's not like that. And this industry is a business where you cannot wear your heart on your sleeve. If you are soft, you're not going to make it. And that's just the real spiel. I gotta keep it real. If you are entitled, you're not going to make it. If you don't like constructive criticism, you're not going to make it. There are so many different things that can factor into the entertainment business. This is a cutthroat business. It is not for everybody. Some people advance a lot quicker. Some of us, and I'm one of the us, it's coming a lot slower. It's coming a lot slower. I've done a lot of stuff, and sometimes I look at the things that I've done and I say I should be farther than this. What is going on? But timing is everything. Timing is everything. I tell myself that every day. Timing is everything, and eventually you'll get where you need to be. You just gotta keep going. You've got to keep going.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's not, you're not saying, you can't be emotional, you can't have feelings, but I feel like you have to in this industry, especially, there's going to be a lot of no's. There's going to
A
be
lot.
1 minute you're on air, the position that you've ever dreamt of, and then the next minute, budget cuts, format switches, we're going in a different direction. And like you
Right.
said, and then also it's about networking. Like you have to network, you have
You
to.
have to have the right relationship. Relationships are everything in this business, and I'm so glad that I learned that early on. The When you get that, you'll understand what I'm saying. You have to have good relationships with people. I was so grateful in my radio journey that I built some incredible relationships that I still have to this day. People that I can still pick up my phone and call, people that I can still text, people that still reach out to me and say, "Hey, I love what you're doing. Keep going. If some opportunities come my way, I'll let you know." Relationships, relationships, relationships. You have to build great relationships. Don't burn any bridges. You never know what bridge you may need to cross again. This is like a media is like full circle world. You're going to run across the same people. So you want to make sure that you got some good relationships, because you never
Absolutely.
know when you'll get that phone call of somebody saying, "Hey, this position opened up," and I was like, "Oh, I know the perfect person." You got to make sure you build relationships in this industry.
And I feel like also not being afraid to like take your talents and explore other options outside of like where
Absolutely.
you're comfortable. If you're from Detroit, if you're from Metro Detroit, go, network in Lansing, network in some of our smaller markets, because I feel like building those connections are only going to help you in the end. And I know your story, you were going to the radio station every day. You were at Hot 107.5 on the regular. So I really want to tell everybody, because AP was at the station.
I was.
Like you were there every day.
Oh my God. When I tell this story, it's so stalkerish. It's so stalker, but it's the truth. So every day after graduation, I would go up to Radio One Detroit at the time, and I would literally sit in the lobby to try to speak to the program director. And I did that every single day for months. And the receptionist, oh my God, he was so cool. And he was like, it's like I became a prop in the reception area. Like I was a part of the reception area every day. And the program director at the time, one day he just finally came out and was like, "Who are you?" Like who are you? You're here every day. And so I introduced myself. We had a talk, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to find you something to do just because. I've never seen anybody so adamant about working ever in my life. I'm going to give you something to do just because. And from that point, it's history. It's history. And I still have a relationship with the man who hired me. His name is Skip Dillard. Hi, Skip. His name is Skip Dillard. He is the first person who hired me on air. I mean, the first person who hired me at a radio station. Skip Dillard. I will remember that name forever.
Absolutely. And like I said, it just goes back to networking and keeping those connections and making sure that first impression when you come across somebody, because you never know when you may cross each other's paths again.
You never know.
You're gonna laugh. I want to dive into more of your journey in just a moment, but I actually dug up. I went to the Thai vaults, and I want to share this with you guys because this is me. So for those that don't know, long story short, I was the one that would wake up hours before school started to call the radio station, calling Radio Disney at such a young age, winning contests, introducing songs, adding the DJs on MySpace back when MySpace was where it was at. And I had the opportunity to be hired the week of my 18th birthday for a top 40 pop station for CBS Radio as a board op. And these are some of the cringeworthy moments that are still circulating on social media.
Let's go.
But I'm gonna show you guys what I pulled from the vault really quickly, just because I was like, let me look. Ty, I'm not new to this. I've been doing this for years as well.
Period.
So this is the first one. No rhythm, by the way.
This my song. No, that's really I can take home. I can take home. She can be 18 with an attitude. Acting real rude.
And then there's this one, which was me reading a promo for a liner for Tim Hortons.
Video concert update is sponsored by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop. Great tasting food and amazing coffee.
So for those that are like, Tyler has been doing this. I've been doing this for a while. But like I was telling you before we were live, my goal is to be on air, whether that's a morning radio show host, I'll do the traffic reports, or even like a lifestyle or opinionated news show or platform, or even nowadays with digital streaming, I feel like even like I'm already doing it in a sense on my own platform. So I book all the guests, I do the edits, I do the social media. So really this has always been a passion for me. And for you, AP, what were like some of the biggest lessons early on that you learned during your journey that still apply currently in your journey?
I think the biggest lessons I learned early on in the journey was, of course, number one, I cannot say it enough, building those relationships. Also, just knowing that everything is not going to happen when you want it to happen. You've got to keep going. If this is something that you really want, if this is something that you're really passionate about, you will keep going no matter what. Don't worry about the no's. Don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about how long it takes. And I think that's the biggest thing for us. We do so much and we feel like, oh my God, where is the light at the end of this tunnel? You know what I mean? Where is the light at the end of the tunnel? There is light at the end of the tunnel. Take every opportunity seriously. That's something I learned early on. If you get an opportunity, execute to the fullest. Make sure that you are pulling out all the bells and all the whistles. Make sure that you are showing up. Make sure that you are on time. Make sure you're early. Early is on time. You know, make sure that you research what it is that you'll be doing. Make sure that you know what you're going to be talking about so that you are ready to go. You want people to know that you are on your A game, that you are serious, that you are about your business, and that they can call you again. You want to make sure that they can say, hey, I know somebody who can do that. Exactly what you're looking for. I know somebody that can do that. And that's the biggest thing for me that I learned early on. I want to be able to be the one that nobody has to second guess, and you know you can count on me to show up. That's what you learn early on.
Dropping gems for sure. And I think
Yeah.
like that reminds me back when American Idol had came to Detroit to do auditions at Ford Field, and I had the random chance out the blue to meet Ryan Seacrest and ask him an interview question. And that's what I asked him. I asked him, you know, what advice would you give to somebody like myself that's looking to take their career in this industry to the next level? And he had made a joke and was like, you're doing it, like you should be giving me advice. And that's what he had said as well. He was like, you know, whatever you do, whatever position you're in, always make sure to get there early and don't be afraid to stay late.
Yeah, get there early. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to grind and get up in it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to be a student. We're always learning. We should constantly be learning. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Closed mouths do not get fed. That's really true.
For sure. And AP, I want to talk a little bit about, you know, what you're currently working on and some of your projects. We're going to show some pictures as well. So for those that may, with the legends. So for those that may not be in Detroit that are watching, that is AP along with
Rushmore of news right here.
Literally Chuck Gatica, Carmen Harlan, Bernie Smilovitz. That is like you said, the four that are
Mount Rushmore of news for sure. I was so thrilled. Like I literally had just got off the air. I'm walking into the green room. I walk into the green room and they're just sitting there. And so I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on? They were just sitting there. And that's because Devin Skillion was getting ready to retire. They came to surprise him.
And I know, and you've been featured on Local 4's Live in the D multiple times with Tati Amari. So like AP, you are doing it, and to see you, and I think what really stands out to me even is that, you know, seeing you and just seeing you live in your full purpose and like that authenticity, that genuineness is not something that's a personality that you turn on for the cameras. So I know you've already and I also admire and respect that all of your content in social media, like regardless of what happens in your life, you're always so positive and uplifting, and we need more positivity in this industry, in the world.
Absolutely.
So I know if you want to tell everybody where to tune in tomorrow, and we'll show the flyer as well.
So tomorrow I will be guest appearing again on Live in the D at 11 a.m. I'll be on a segment called What's the Buzz, where we talk about like different topics. So I will be on that segment tomorrow at 11 a.m. You can go to clickondetroit.com. You can watch the show live. I'm super excited to be a friend of the show. And it's such great experience for me. The crew is amazing. The producers, the camera crew. Tati is my girl. She's amazing. She always thinking about me all the time, always throwing my name in the hat. And I'm just super excited to be included. You know, I'm excited to be thought of. It's such a blessing to be thought of, you know, and I'm just super excited to be thought of. So tomorrow I'll be live on Local 4. I'll be on What's the Buzz at 11 a.m. You can go to clickondetroit.com. You can stream it online. If you're in the city, turn on channel 4 at 11 a.m.
Absolutely. And then be sure to pull your phone out, take pictures and video, tag AP on all of social media, because like you're here to stay. You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
And aside from being featured on Local 4 and Live in the D, are you currently working on any other projects, or is that kind of on the lock right now?
You know what? I'm working on 2 projects. One, I am starting back up my show, which is the AP show. I got some brand new things in the work. I'm coming back out in September. Also, I am working on another show. Can't really talk about that at the moment, but that will probably be around September-ish too. So I'm coming. It's looking real fallish for me. I'm going to be really busy in the fall. So
Hey, I'm telling you, I had a previous co-host, Lacey, who we did like 40 episodes together last season, and she's now working at CBS Detroit. So
Okay.
shout outs to Lay. But that being said, I've been looking for a guest co-host. So AP, if you want to pop in and we can talk about what's trending and what's going on, we definitely can make it happen.
You know, you can call me and I'll pop in.
Hey, I just found I'm not gonna be like the girl that saw you driving in the city and like stopped you and took pictures with you. I'm not gonna go that far. I heard that story, but I am going to make sure that we stay connected and support each other.
For sure.
Really, before we get to our rapid fire, which are random, fun, rapid fire questions that we don't send our guests beforehand, I want to know, one, what advice would you give to people out there looking to go into the industry or take their opportunities to the next level? And then, you know, when people look back at your legacy, what do you want to be reminded for or of when it comes to who you are and the talent that you are?
Advice that I would give people: just keep going, no matter what. Your opportunity will be your opportunity. I know it sounds so cliche. What's for you is for you, but it's really right. It's really not cliche at all. What's for you is for you. Keep going, no matter what. The right timing is everything. You'll get it when it's your time, not before. It won't come late. It won't come early. It'll be your time, and it'll be perfect. What was the next one?
Yep. So that was the advice. And then what is, when just people look back at you as a whole and who you are, what do you want your legacy and your imprint, just overall to look like and be reminded for?
I mean, I want to be reminded for being transparent. I want to be reminded for, you know, showing people the real behind it all. Every moment is not going to be the greatest, but you still have to show that moment, because you have to show what led up to the great moments. I feel like now a lot of people, they want to just show the end. They don't want to show the story. They don't want to show the going through part. And for me, God has allowed me to be very transparent in my journey. I show you guys good things, but I show you rough things too. I show you disappointments. I show you setbacks. I show you heartbreaks. I show you the real. I show you the emotion. I show you I'm ready to just stop it all. But then I show you the next day, I was just playing. Like, I show every part of my journey. And that's what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered for the bad that got good, the good that got great. I wanna be known for like showing what it really took to get here.
Absolutely. And then just like you said, taking those quote unquote setbacks or the outcomes that we didn't really want to play out the way that they did.
The ones that you never want to show, the ones you don't want people to know anything about. You gotta show. If you're gonna show the good, you have to show the bad.
Because it exists, and the bad gets you to where where you are currently.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, AP. So rapid fire. Are you ready? And once again, for those that are in the chats, if you got any questions for our guests this evening or for AP, or if you just want to let us know where you're watching from, or if you want to play along, you guys can submit your answers in and we'll share them on the screen as well. All right, AP. First up, Coney Dog Craving, Lafayette or American?
Neither.
That part, I wish I had a bell because
neither. I'm not going to neither.
I'm staying away from both. No offense, because if either wants to be a sponsor, you know where to find us.
Exactly.
But your boy is trying to go half vegan, like want to be vegan.
Neither.
So
I'm doing neither. I'm going to Legends Coney Island on Davison and Linwood. I'm not going to either one of those.
Support local businesses for sure.
Support local business for sure.
All right, so game night vibes in the city. Pistons at LCA or the Lions at Ford Field?
Oh, that is tough. That's tough. That is tough time. Why would you ask me that? Jesus.
You know why I asked you? Because I support all Detroit sports teams, but I don't follow sports. So I go for the drinks, the overpriced concessions, and people watching.
I'm gonna say both of them.
I like it.
Both
All right,
of
so
them.
Detroit Drive, Woodward Avenue Cruise, or Belle Isle Loop?
Oh, these are good. I'm gonna go Belle Isle Loop.
I feel you. It's getting nice out. I'm ready to get
Yeah,
back to the city.
I'm gonna take it back old school. I'm gonna go Belle Isle Loop.
I got you. I remember during the pandemic when like COVID first started, I was out here masked up, of course, but cruising on Belle Isle, and I'm like, damn, these people are turning up. Like,
I'm gonna go Belle Isle Loop.
I feel you. I feel you for sure. All right, so iconic eats: Better Made chips or Faygo? If you could only pick one.
Both. I only get both. How can I pick one time? Both.
I'm gonna say both at the same time.
At the same time, I gotta have my Better Made and my Faygo together. I gotta have a bag of Better Made barbecue.
The orange bag, right? Just the regular
orange bag, yep. And I need a Faygo red.
Ooh, I was gonna say Faygo red or Moo Mist, so I'm right there with you. All right, we can keep this friendship. It's gonna get harder. So, Motown Mood, the Supremes or the Temptations?
How could you do this to me?
I know.
The Supremes or no, I can't do that one. Both of them.
Both. All right. Both. So historic hangout, Motown Museum or the Detroit Institute of Arts?
Motown Museum.
I've never been. And we are our last episode, we interviewed a music artist. His name is Savion Payton, and he's in the competition tonight at Motor City, the soundboard, for Hitsville's next, like Amplify Your Voice Detroit. And it's a bunch of music contestants from the city that are in a competition for that's presented by Hitsville Next and Motown Museum. I've never been.
You gotta go to the Motown Museum. You have to. It's amazing.
It's
amazing.
I can't believe I'm admitting it here. So the next
but you have to go. You have to take a trip. It's amazing.
So you mentioned your local Coney Island or your local Coney spot, but Bucharest or Leo's Coney Island?
Bucharest.
Hands down. AP, I'm scared for this last one. Detroit soundtrack is the theme, and I'm gonna ask you. He's even made a promo video of him telling you and telling the world how talented you are. So I have to ask you, Big Sean or Eminem? And before you answer that, I actually do have it. I'm a book reader. So for those that haven't read this book by Big Sean, Go Higher, the 5 practices for purpose, success, and inner peace. Y'all need to pick up that book. And yeah, AP, Big Sean or Eminem?
Big Sean.
Yes. All right. That's all I needed. You said the correct answer.
Big Sean.
For sure. All right, AP, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. Wishing you nothing but success. For those that may just be joining us, be sure to catch AP on Live in the D.
Yeah.
On Local 4. You guys can watch it on clickondetroit.com. She's going to be with Tati for the What's the Buzz segment, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then also be sure to let everybody know where to follow you and connect with you. And we'll go ahead and put that up on the screen as well.
So my social media, look at you, YouTube, the AP show.
I got you.
My Instagram is AP, by the way. Facebook, it's just my name, April Lockett. Thank you so much, Ty, for the opportunity. This was amazing. Love the show. Love Rapid Fire. Please have me back. I'll pop in on you. We can do a little tag team, whatever you want to do.
Absolutely. We're taking over. And then for those that are interested in booking or connecting with you, we also have your email as well. So
Ty, you better work, Ty.
Hey, I do what I can. Hosting, producing.
AP, by the way, at yahoo.com. You can hit me up there if you want to book me to host your next event. If you want voiceovers, commercial reads, whatever you need, it's AP, by the way, at yahoo.com. Thank you guys so much. Please reach out to me with any questions. If you are in media, if you want to get into radio, TV, please text me. I'm not texting me. Please email me, and I am down to answer any questions.
Absolutely, AP. Once again, I am about to be sending you my updated demo and air check
Yeah, send
right
me
after this.
everything.
So
Yep.
we'll be in contact. I appreciate you. Keep the positivity going, and just like you said, God already has the plan in store for you.
Oh, it's already the plan. The plan is still the plan. Every day that we wake up, the plan is still the plan.
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I'll be in contact with you soon.
Thank you, Ty, so much. Talk to you soon. Make sure you send me everything.
Will do. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you again.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. Have a good week.
Yes. Have a good week. All right. So that was AP, by the way. Be sure, again, I'm going to show y'all the flyer again because I know the attention span of some people. So Local 4's Live in the D. This is Tyler saying y'all need to watch AP. It's going to be, I believe, towards like the middle or the end of the show, if I'm correct. So be sure to tune into Live in the D on Local 4. Click on Detroit.com. See your girl AP. Show her some love. And I am super excited for this next guest as well. So if you're like myself and working that 9 to 5, that 10.5-hour shift, and you're just trying to take yourself to the next level on top of a million different side projects and hustles as well. Here to talk to us more about career advancement, resume writing, and all of the skills that he offers to those that are looking to take themselves to the next level, as well as share some insights on his journey and experience. I'm going to add him to the virtual platform right now. This is Gerramia Coffey, or Coffee. I hope I pronounced it right.
No, Tyler, you got it right. It's Coffee. First of all, I appreciate you having me. I'm so excited to be on your platform. Definitely been a big fan for a while, and I'm excited to be here tonight.
Absolutely. I appreciate you so much. And I'm really just looking to, really dive in. Funny enough, I think we've been friends on social media for a minute, and I saw your post, and I'm going to share that graphic a little bit later on in our conversation. But I really want to just, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and, share the pivotal moments that really inspired you to pursue your career in talent development and career consulting.
Thank you. So just a little bit more about myself. I'm a Detroit native. I think you talked about that a little bit too. Born and raised in Detroit. Big part of me, I'm the oldest of 9 siblings. I got 7 younger brothers and 1 little sister. So I've kind of always had an opportunity to play that leadership development piece my entire life. Was an intern at Rocket, or formerly known as Quick Loans, before I even had a chance to go to college. So right out of high school, getting a chance to get my foot into the door, that corporate environment really helped me understand like what I needed to do to become what I wanted to be, and then hone those skills. I think AP talked about it a lot. For me, the biggest piece was networking, building those relationships, making sure that they're not interactional, but intentional. Really developing on the people who want to invest in you was a big part of how I kind of found a passion and making sure that I'm able to pour back into those who need it.
Absolutely. And for you, what were some of the biggest challenges or obstacles that you not only faced, but also overcame during your journey?
Yeah, it's a great question. Definitely was a lot of obstacles, a lot of things in the way to get to where I was to where I am now. I think the biggest piece was kind of just reevaluating what my expectations are. I think for a lot of us, we believe that hard work creates a straight path to success. And I know, at least for me, that's what I thought. But it took for me understanding that path to success, it has ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. And then getting used to know that the hard work needs to be consistent, no matter what success looks like at that moment.
Absolutely. And I know you had mentioned, being a talent relationship manager. What are some of the strategies that you've implemented to foster professional development, amongst other team members? Or what does that mean to be a talent relationship manager for those that may not know what that position entails?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So talent relationship manager, really long name. So we refer to it on my team as just a TRM. It's a pretty unique role. I get a chance to go external for my entire organization and help build strong relationships. Not just relationships that are for naught, but relationships that help create a strong talent pipeline. So reaching out to professors, presidents of universities, business owners who have a strong candidate pool that they're looking to connect with opportunities. I get to play the role of the organizer between Rocket and that company to make sure that people are able to find opportunities.
Absolutely. And you're also, taking your talents and your role into communities and working, like you said, with universities. And
Yeah.
for you, what is your mission, and how are you looking to continue to expand your services? Because I feel like on our platform, we talk a lot about, mental health, and we talk about different issues that are impacting communities.
Yeah.
And having those hard conversations that people sometimes just choose to like walk away from because it's easier. How do you plan on continuing to build that imprint when it comes to like underserved communities?
So I'll answer that question in two folds. Great question, by the way. Thinking about my current role, getting a chance to go on campuses and talk to university students, really those students who are underrepresented, as a lot of what I get the chance to partner with and help develop. It hones in with who I am naturally, what my background represents, finding individuals who may not have had a chance presented right in front of them, may not have the same starting point, but want to end up at the same finish line as a lot of the people that they might see on TV, counterparts that they might work with in the office. So that really resonated with me on that aspect. And when it comes to direct community involvement, I'm a big churchgoer. Mac Ave Community Church, right on Mac and Harding, on here on the east side, is really where I do a lot of my community involvement outside of the workspace. However, we can get involved with community, whether that's sports develop, organizing community members to really create a solid mind and a North Star for where we should be headed as a community.
Absolutely. And Jeremiah, I want to talk a little bit more about, overall those specific services that you offer to individuals seeking career advancement. And for you, how do you tailor your approach to meet the diverse needs? And I'm going to actually share the graphic that you had on your social media, which initiated this conversation. But I want to talk a little bit about those services that you offer and how you tailor those to really create a positive impact on your clients and customers.
Yeah, Tyler, thank you for showing that. So quite a few services that I like to offer. One being just that direct career coaching. A lot of us have no idea where we should be headed in terms of with our background. We may have had a lot of different industries that we spend time in and are really having a trouble honing in where they needed to direct all their efforts. So career coaching is something I help with directly. Resume building. If you're like me, I had a hard time understanding what a proper resume looked like. And then I offer that service of developing that resume with you from start to finish, from that professional summary all the way down to that skills and volunteering, making sure that it's presentable. There are a lot of AI software that the recruiters send these resumes through. So I specialize in helping candidates make sure that their resume stands out amongst others, that the verbiage is there, not only to highlight everything that they've been a part of, but really to narrow it down to the position that they have a passion for.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important because a lot of the times people don't know how to even create that basic resume, or should I include my picture on my resume, or do I need to include a cover letter?
Yep.
What type of information, do I need to include? For you, just, being in the role that you are career wise, from your perspective, how is the overall landscape of talent acquisition and career development evolved in recent years? Or what are some of the changes that you've noticed personally?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think if you're going to be applying to any kind of role, you're going to be experiencing some kind of tug and pull when it comes to HR and talent acquisitions. And it looks very different. I started my career journey in 2015 and it's 2025. The application process, the way that the applications are being reviewed by recruiters and how recruiters are making those decisions looks completely different. AI has a big piece of it, not just in the way that things are being processed, but kind of expectations of what recruiters are looking for on a resume. They're not just looking for what you can do and what you've been doing. They're looking to see how can you play a part in the new developments that are coming down the line. So it's going to be up to the candidates and the person applying to make sure that they have their ear to the streets on what changes are happening in the industry, so that when they talk to the recruiter, they can stand out like recruiters are looking for right now. They're looking for you to kind of let them know where they should be headed.
Absolutely. And then for you, like I said, we talk about a lot about mental health. So balancing that ambition with like with your overall well-being is essential. How do you maintain your mental health while pursuing professional excellence?
Mm, that's a good one. Let me think about that. Mental health is deep, and I think we all kind of face it and challenge it a different way. At least for me, I kind of always remember my why. I remember the reason why I'm doing it every day. Right now, that's my wife and my son who just turned 11 months this morning. So we're really excited about that. That is a big piece of kind of what hones me when I get home and work is done. Being sure that I can hang up that hat, turn work off, and turn dad and husband mode on really helps me kind of stay grounded and stay honed in on why I wake up in the morning and why it's important for me to strive no matter what.
Absolutely. And Jeremiah, I know, I had mentioned early on during the opener, like, working at 9 to 5, and, maybe that's not the career that you really want to be in. Just as an example, and then like also having that passion, like for those out there that are watching this, that maybe working that job that, it's a job that pays the bills, it provides for their family, and themselves, but maybe it's not what they want to be doing. What advice would you give to them? Because I feel like I'm reading this book called The Let Them Theory, and it's by Mel Robbins, and it just talks a lot about how you can you might feel stuck, but you're not stuck. And I feel like a lot of our audience probably can relate to feeling stuck in a job that maybe that's not what their true calling is. What advice would you give to people out there that are watching?
First of all, I want to say The Let Them is an amazing book. It's been recommended through all the book clubs that I've been a part of, and it's been talked about in my office pretty recently. So I got to make sure that I'm sharing it as often as you are, because I really think it's a good read. Now, when it comes to kind of facing that obstacle of making that transition to getting out of that 9 to 5, a place that you feel comfortable, first thing that you should know is that it's very normal for you to feel like that. I think every single person who has a 9 to 5 job, whether they love it or not, dreams of one day working for themselves. So, and finding what their passion is. So I think that's where I'll start. My mom used to tell me that the number one place you should go and the best job for you is a job that you do for free. So I think that's always important when you're thinking about what's willing and what's worth it for you to give up that 9 to 5, that comfortability, that stability and taking a chance on yourself. A big piece of it is going to be, I'm going to call a spade. You want to set up some kind of comfort. You want to make sure that you're saving, that you're building for that kind of jump off, so that you have some room to make mistakes, because the mistakes are going to be made. It's natural and it's a part of the process. So I think just making sure that you're good to go from a financial standpoint, and then surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded. I think AP talked about it a lot, that networking. Be around people who are willing to put you in a position to say your name. Be around people who are going to speak your name and mention you when you're not in the room. You always have folks who are watching you when you don't know it. So just making sure that you're reaching out to those individuals, bringing them into your network in a strong way, so that they can kind of help catapult you to where you want to be.
Absolutely. And last question before we get to the rapid fire. Looking ahead, what are some of your goals for expanding your impact in talent development and career consulting?
Yeah, I think a big piece of it is kind of just letting everyone know the services that I offer. It's 2025. It's been a crazy year so far. I think like no other, it's a perfect time for people who are thinking about what their career looks like and kind of beefing up their resume. Recruiting is becoming a real strenuous process. Positions are not as out there as they used to be. So it's definitely a time for people to become competitive when it comes to how they present themselves in a recruiting standpoint. And that's where I come into play. So just letting as many people as possible know that I'm here to offer my services, to make sure that they can stand out and be that candidate that folks give a call back to.
Absolutely. All right, Jeremiah, you ready for these rapid fire questions?
Absolutely, I'm ready.
All right, first up, team meeting, leading the presentation or hyping up the team behind the scenes? Which would you prefer?
Leading the presentation. I'll definitely love to get in front of folks. I have a hard time watching bad presentations. I'm a nail biter, so I just sit in the back critiquing, like, man, if they don't notice this. I always pay attention to how people pay attention. So I always love being in front of folks.
Absolutely. And workday fuel, coffee all day or like a power smoothie in the morning?
This is going to sound weird, but I'm not a big coffee drinker. I know my last name is Coffee, but definitely a power smoothie to get me ready for the day with some vitamins is all I need.
For sure. And then, so you can only pick one leadership trait, emotional intelligence. Excuse me. You can only pick one leadership trait, emotional intelligence or strategic vision.
Emotional intelligence. I definitely think that the only way to get ahead is to understand how people feel, rather than stepping on their emotions and how they might want to present themselves. Emotional intelligence is everything, from communication, understanding to marketing to sales. Understanding how people feel and how you make them feel is a big piece of life.
Absolutely. And career motto, work smarter, not harder, or grind now, shine later.
Work smarter, not harder, all day long. I definitely am one of measuring twice and cutting once, making sure that things are ready to go so that you can make sure you're getting off on the right foot. Don't want it to come off as promoting analysis paralysis, because I'm a big fan that perfection and gets in the way of progress, but really just making sure that you're working hard now so that you can sit back and relax, kick your feet up later on.
Absolutely. And so would you rather get promoted unexpectedly or would you rather help someone else get promoted because of your mentorship?
I would definitely prefer to help someone else get promoted. I'm all about network. I'm all about folks advancing, and I'm all about biting the bullet. I'm someone who I'm an older sibling, so I've always been the one to let them have it, so I can go without. I'm always sharing. So when it comes to promoting someone up, lifting them up, and being a pedestal, I'm always about that. As long as I can sit back and see their success.
I love that. I love that. So for your like ideal dream team, would you rather have the creative visionary or would you rather have the detail driven organizer?
Oh, the detail-driven organizer all day long. If you don't have good organization, nothing can succeed. I don't care how hard you work at it, how good at it you are. If things aren't organized and detailed, we can only go so far. So definitely the latter.
Okay. Okay. And then for you, like a career breakthrough moment, would you rather have like the opportunity to present a TED talk like as a speaker or like be recognized as like LinkedIn's top voices?
TED Talk as a speaker. Again, 2025 technology, I'm all about it. That video is going to live and last forever. As you know, Tyler, you and AP live in the media realm. We just saw a couple of videos from you from way back. And I definitely, am a proponent of making sure that things are being seen, especially when it's captured through video.
Definitely, definitely. Because once Instagram denies you access, it's out there. So hey, be mindful for sure. All right. So last question, final email of the day. It's the end of the work day. Are you sending that last email now or are you scheduling it for 8 a.m. tomorrow?
Embarrassingly, I'm sending it now. My wife will hate to hear this, but I suck at stopping at 5 o'clock. Like I'm here drinking water, staying here till about 6:30. But when I'm done, I'm done. But I am I'm guilty of sitting here until about 6:37, getting all my emails sent out so that I can wake up the next morning with a clear slate and low admin.
Absolutely. And Gerramia, thank you so much for joining us and giving us just some insight into advancing in that professionalism. Go ahead and let everybody know as well where to connect with you online. I know scrolling across the bottom of the screen is your Instagram, but if people are interested in some of your services, which include resume writing, resume reviewing, career coaching, honestly, I think that the service and the work that you're doing is so beneficial and so critical that I am going to actually be talking to you to see if we can do like a weekly or a monthly segment, if you're down, because I think the information that you're sharing can definitely help. And these are the types of conversations that need to be had.
Thank you, Tyler. I'm definitely excited. Anything you need, let me know. Whatever I can help you with. And thank you for having my email up there on the screen. That's going to be the best way for anyone to reach out to me. cjeremiah@gmail.com. Whatever kind of services that you need to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward for the next opportunity, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always available to set up kind of virtual calls and willing to dive into your unique needs and your unique opportunities.
Absolutely. Again, Jeremiah, I am going to be in touch. Thank you again so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Tyler.
Absolutely. You guys are watching Ty's Take Today Live. That's going to do it for this episode. Can't believe it's already episode 33. So shout outs to my guests. Earlier today, we talked to April Lockett, also known as AP. Be sure to check her out on Local 4's Live in the D with Tati Amari on Local 4 Detroit. Join us, watch. We're going to be watching. Super excited. Also, shout outs to who we just spoke to, Gerramia Coffey, about some of the services that he offers, which include crafting resumes and helping in career coaching and helping you take your career in your position to the next level. So be sure to check them out as well. And then before we get out of here, of course, coming up on later editions of Ty's Take Today Live, this Thursday, May 8th, we are talking to Brittany Alexis about her latest book release. We're also going to be talking to Carl Kingston as well about his new project that is dropping later this month called Stare. He is an artist and also a part of the Idea Company. Stare is going to be released later this month. And then, like I said, we're going to pop that graphic back up on the screen. Sunday the 11th, we are talking to Nicholas Smith. He is a LA-based artist, illustrator, author, and activist. And then, of course, on the Sunday the 18th of this month, we are talking to George Latham IV, who is a young, aspiring, and up-and-coming leader and activist, author, and speaker. And then we'll also be talking to Didi Pauline, who is an actress, director, and producer. She is from Brazil. And then we're going to be talking to Christy Love, who is a mindset coach and manifestation coach. So shout out to our guests. Y'all know where to follow us on social media. Once again, I am going to close out the show just thanking and dedicating this episode to my mom. Like I said, please continue the prayers and keep us and our entire family in your thoughts and prayers, especially with it being Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. It's definitely hitting a little differently this year, but I just want to say thank you guys so much as always. Shout outs to my beautiful mom. I can't wait till you come home so that we can catch up and just be able to watch all of the amazing episodes and hopefully have an amazing meal and conversation. So, Mom, I love you. And I also want to check in with the comments. Shout outs to Tanya Farrell. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, who said, "We are praying for your mom." I just want to say thank you guys so much. That's going to do it for this episode of Ty's Take Today Live. Cheers to the weekend. Cheers to an amazing week. And we'll see you guys right back here on Thursday.